Welcome back to another YouTube episode. Now today we've got a Q&A for you. We've got lots of questions in from Instagram. We've put them all together and we've picked out the best ones to answer for you today. So we'll kick it off. Some of them we'll answer separately, and I guess some of them we'll be able to answer in combination together. So let's kick it off with, what did you both do before coaching and how did you transition into online coaching? So I think I'll probably go first, seeing as I transitioned first. So I was a product development manager for nearly 16 years, which is basically an industrial chemist developing, formulating products that go into the construction industry. So I was bodybuilding alongside that for a number of years, and it was only in 2018 where I decided to give coaching a go. After coaching quite a few of my friends, family members for free, and noticing that I was doing it quite well and managed to get a lot of people in shape, so I thought I could actually make some money out of it. So for the next 2 years I grafted my ass off basically, early mornings, late nights, to build up the business to something where I could actually do it full time. And then in 2020, just before COVID struck, that's when I actually transitioned onto online coaching full time. So that's only like a couple of years ago now, and we've made huge progress so far. So I'll let Aston speak about how she transitioned, because she came after me.
Yeah, so in terms of me, my background is all social work background. So I was in social work for more than 10 years. So at the time of finishing my social work career before I transitioned into coaching, I was a social work manager in fostering and adoption. Well, actually just fostering. I'd finished the adoption side of stuff a few years ago. So yeah, just fostering. So worked my way up from being a social worker, senior social worker, team manager, and then had my sights really through all my career to just continue climbing the ladder in social work. Absolutely loved it, absolutely, like, obviously really stressful, really pressurising, but it were amazing. It was a big passion of mine, and still is there in my heart. Can't ever switch off from being a social worker. But yeah, when I was it was when I was on maternity leave, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where we'd actually kind of spoke about me doing the transition into coaching as well and becoming part of the business. So I myself have been in the fitness industry again for pretty much 10 years, if not longer. Had coaches myself, done competition preps, been on stage, done the holiday cuts, things like that. Lots of research, lots of knowledge built up in the background, and it was just something that I've always been passionate about. And then obviously alongside Andy, we'd kind of just, I don't know, it just made complete sense, didn't it? Like, I love it, you love it, I have the background knowledge, you have the background knowledge, and it...
And at the time, I think I was looking for another coach anyway, so it just made total sense to bring you on board and get you to finish work.
So yeah, I did similar to you in terms of when I went back to work after maternity leave, did similar in terms of going back full time. So obviously working a high pressure job full time, plus being a new mum just back from maternity leave, but did it again similar to you in terms of doing the online coaching alongside everything. So I was literally smashing out stupid hours, like ridiculously early mornings anyway, with Mila being newborn still, doing the coaching in the mornings, late into the evenings and on the weekend, and then built it up to a stage where we were just inundated, weren't we? Like, as soon as I started, it was literally just went boom, didn't it? Because we realised quickly that there were loads of girls who wanted to do the online coaching and wanted specifically a female coach, and for some reason or another everyone just... Yeah,
there's always going to be a market out there where females want to be coached by a female, so you've got to accommodate for that. Yeah. So I think it was obviously was a good move to bring you on board.
Yeah. So when we realised how inundated we were and how well it was going, how good it was going, we were like, right, it's now or never, and made the plunge. So January this year, and then plunged into full time.
It seems like you've been doing it for ages, but it's actually only like a few months we've actually been doing it full time. So, and to be fair to Aston, you've literally got to more or less capacity within, what, a month, 2 months?
Yeah, it literally.
So they had to bring someone else on, so yeah, it's just been
it's going good.
Crazy.
But yeah, it was the best transition we made.
Which kind of moves us on to the next question that someone's asked. How are you successful? I've followed you for about 6 years on social media, and it's been unreal to see what you've done and how much you've grown. So first of all, thank you very much for that. Do you want to start with that one? And I'll add to it.
In terms of you being successful.
Well, no, I think the company, the brand, how have you done it?
Say it again. How are you successful, and basically how you've grown, isn't it? So, how are you successful? I think that's just basically who we are as people, like in terms of our personalities, our work ethic and everything. Like we always say that everything we do it to the nth degree. We give everything 110%, whether that be when we're in the gym or whether it be when we're at home. Like even this sounds stupid actually. Like even when we're cooking a meal, like I don't just cook a basic meal. We get like I plan it for ages, make sure I get the best ingredients, the best recipes. Do you know what I mean though? Like that's just an example of like everything
all
we
or
do.
nothing, anything that I do, anything that you do, it's if you're in it, you're in it 100%. If you're not, that I won't do anything half-assed. It's either all or nothing from my side. I mean, I was successful. We're both very good coaches essentially. That is the basics of it. You see people who are trying to get into the online thing, they're doing all this fancy marketing and sales and all this, but at the end of the day you need to be a good coach before you can even think about anything else. When I first finished my full-time job, I didn't have a clue about marketing, sales, running a business, absolutely nothing whatsoever, but I knew I was a good coach. So that's when I brought someone else on board. I started working with business mentors and things like that to help me in other areas progress, but essentially I think you need to be a good coach to start with. And also one thing that we do a lot, and the reason why we are successful, is we invest a lot of money back into the business, into ourselves, into our own knowledge. We work with some of the top coaches in the UK and even some in America now. We've started doing bits with to gain more knowledge in other areas that we're not up to scratch on, shall we say. But yeah, I mean, we're talking like tens of thousands of pounds each year, which probably isn't a lot to some people, but then to other people it will sound a lot. So it's just a case of just pumping money back into the business.
I don't think that's about an emphasis on money. I think that's an emphasis on developing ourselves. So like, for example, there's always room for growth and development in everything. So we're always striving for that next thing. So yeah, we might be good at X, Y and Z, but there's always room for that growth. So then it's like, right, okay, what can we do to just shorten that gap a little bit? Right, brilliant, we'll do this and this, do you know?
Yeah. I mean, my motto is never stop learning.
Yeah, exactly.
The day you stop learning is the day you get left behind, and in business anyway, it's as simple as that. If you're not moving with the times, learning all the new things that are going on, you're simply going to get left behind. Yeah.
No, I think that's it in a nutshell really, innit? In terms of there's literally always something that we're striving for. Like we're never, neither of us are individuals who are comfortable being comfortable, really, and that's just literally like who we are as people in general. We've always got something to target for and always got something to aim for and develop on, and that's not because we're not happy with what we've got, it's just we always want to get the most out of ourselves and out of life and out of everything that we do, really. Like there's a level of experiencing something down here which is absolutely fine, but if we can experience it up a little bit more, then we'll do what we can to achieve that, really.
Okay, so I noticed that Aston is now out of competition prep. What's the next step and next the next goals for her? So again, you may as well start with this one.
So what are my next goals?
Yeah, what's your timeline of
so I clearly am out of competition prep. I'm no longer a lean bean. But yeah, in terms of the next goals, so I'm 3 weeks post-show now, so basically we're just in a recovery phase, aren't we, where I'm getting my energy levels back, getting my hormones balanced again, and just focusing on getting the balance back of life. So I'm pretty much living in a lifestyle balance at the moment where I'm following a plan day to day, and allowing the flexibility of off-plan meals whilst I do catch-ups on socials with my friends and my family. And then in terms of the actual goal going forward in terms of competing, we've not actually set a date, have we? But we are planning on going again next year. Probably a similar time really in terms of the competition.
Yeah, because to be honest, I mean, we haven't actually had that much of an off season. Well, we haven't really had any of an off season with you.
Prior to this, no.
The main focus is going to be building Aston's glutes. I think the rest of her body is more or less there to be very competitive with any amateur in the NPC league. So I think once we build the glutes up, which we've got a good 6 months from now, if we went back into prep.
Yeah.
I think that'd be probably next summer compete. That'd be a good target to aim for.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, in short, the goal is to come back with bigger glutes next year and get on stage at a similar time as I did this year. In terms of starting prep, probably early next year. But it all just depends in terms of the progress, really, don't it? I guess because we are at a stage now where we've agreed definitely don't want to go back on stage until I've made the improvements I want to make. I don't want to go on stage knowing that if I'd have stayed in off season for a little bit longer or whatever, I could have quite developed that bit more. I want to make sure I go there with everything in the bag, really. So that's the goal in terms of dates, and the goal in terms of the outcome is literally just make sure I attack bigger glutes and a nice tight package, because that was my feedback this time, weren't it? Just in terms of muscularity, was that the muscularity and the silhouette was there. There's still a bit more room for growth to stay within the bikini category, and in terms of developments, it was just about like the shape to my glutes, so mainly like my glute medius and what have you. So it's just about tweaking the programming, and like you said, we can definitely do that within the next 6 months, so we'll see where we go from there. And
yeah, I mean, it should be good. We'll aim to do one, like we say, next summer, and then you never know, maybe go abroad and compete. We aren't actually sure yet, so yeah, there's lots of options. But I think
said it now.
I've said it, yeah, so we're going. But I think we're going to stick with the NPC. So that's definitely the way we're going to go. So yeah, exciting for next year.
Yeah, really exciting. But for now, I'm going to enjoy a bit of balance.
Yes, definitely.
A bit of growing. Excited to get some good training sessions in now. I've got the fuel and the energy back.
Right, okay, this one's for me. Was it hard to coach your wife? Okay. So so I'm obviously husband, father, coach, business partners as well. So it kind of we do everything together. We're essentially the same person, aren't we? We're just literally the same.
Literally.
So
that sounds really unhealthy, actually.
But it's not though, is it? It works.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But like when you put it all together, it's like.
Because I think just going off on a bit of a tangent, I think if one person competes and the other one doesn't, quite often you have a very unhealthy relationship. The other one doesn't want you to diet. The other one's trying to, pull you away from going out and things. So I think sometimes.
I don't think it is an unhealthy relationship.
Not unhealthy, it just doesn't.
It's no.
It can not always work sometimes. I think so.
I think it does work. It just depends how strong your relationship is and how your relationship's set up. Because for me, if you are like, you might think it doesn't work to some degree because obviously we don't have that. We do work because we are both into bodybuilding and are both into competing. But I feel like as long as you've got a partner who supports you in doing what you want to do, yes, it doesn't necessarily have to be what they want to do. Like there's loads of couples, for example, who the guy or the girl might go out and watch football every weekend. The girl might not, or the other partner might not. Do you know?
That's the key. They have to be supported.
And just allow you to do whatever you want to do and what makes you happy. And I think that that's the same for any relationship, whether it be a friendship or an actual like marriage or partner or whatever. So I think it can work. It just depends on who you are as a couple and what you want for your partner.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have
but we've kind of gone on to the next question already, so we'll just swiftly move back. So yeah, for me, coaching Aston was quite easy really. One, because she does exactly as she's told. A perfect
Not in everything.
Not in everything. As a client, the client she's a perfect client. So you give her the tasks, give her a diet plan, she sticks to it, she cracks on. There's not a chance she would ever let anything slip. She'd never miss a cardio session, never miss a meal, and everything's going to be absolutely nailed on. So that part was easy. It only started getting a little bit more difficult for me as we get close to show. I'd say probably 3 to 4 weeks out, maybe, when energy levels are very low. Anyone who does competition prep knows that feeling. It is very, very tough. Now, I'm obviously seeing her on a daily basis, struggling, essentially. You were struggling with lack of energy, not being able to do anything. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I'm going to have to lower her food, or I'm going to have to increase her cardio. So taking the emotional part of this out, for me, was the hardest part, but we managed it.
Yeah.
No, we managed it pretty well, I think.
Yeah. I say in terms of tough days as well, like obviously there were times where it was super, super tough, but
we've done this for this long. I've prepped several times, Aston's prepped a couple of times. We know exactly how each other are feeling, and we know what we need to do to help each other out. Like when Aston was in prep, if she needs something doing, I'll do it without any question, and it was always the same the other way around. If one of us needs to do cardio, the other one will sacrifice something so it gets done. It's as simple as that.
And it were just the nice things, were just things like when you knew I was struggling, you knew, for example, you were going to have to put my cardio up or bring my food down or what have you to bring me into the detail that we needed. And I would have got it done, but you knew that it would be harder for me. So what you would then do is, like when you had that day out with Mila, for example, you took Mila out for the day because you knew at that point we were going to have to dig deeper, and it would make me kind of go more into the hole a little bit. So
I mean, I can remember getting up that morning and I could just tell, obviously we know each other so well, and you were just struggling big time. So I just said, right, I'm going out with Mila for the day, you just chill and catch up on sleep, basically. So I think that's what you did.
Yeah, it was literally euphoric that day. It was so good. Literally just laid on the sofa doing nothing, which is so not like me. But yeah, that's how it works, isn't it? So like you say, it was tough for you at times seeing me like that, but at the same time, it had its benefits as well. It had loads of benefits because you know my body so well that that's how we brought in the condition and everything that we did. It was just,
So that kind of moves on to the next question. How does competition prep impact your relationship?
Oh right, yeah, so we kind of already...
So we kind of covered it, but again, we've been doing this for this long. When we first got together, I mean, I trained.
You went to the gym.
I went to the gym, did what I thought was the good thing to do. But anyway, so we've kind of transitioned into the bodybuilding scene together.
Yeah.
We've transitioned in together, so we both know exactly how each other are feeling.
Yeah,
makes sense.
We know what it takes and what have you. So I guess that in terms of how it impacts your relationship, because we've transitioned into it together, it's helps our relationship in a way, because you see each other through those challenging times, and you support each other through those challenging times, but also through the high times as well. Of like, obviously, it's challenging. Don't want to make it sound like it's not a good experience, because it absolutely is. But I think like seeing those high times together is nice, isn't it? Because you can see how you feel when you push yourself. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, and the thing is, there's impacts on our relationship, but also impacts on other relationships, such as like family members, friendship groups, things like that. And in competition prep, you've got to make sacrifices, as simple as that. But what we have tried to do is still go to these social events. I mean, every time one of us has prepped, one of us has been on a prep and been to a wedding, and we sit there with our Tupperware, eating our meal. It's absolutely fine. You're still there. You're still enjoying the day. You're just not eating the foods that other people are having, and you're not drinking. So it's as simple as that. If you're going to do something, you've got to make sacrifices sometimes. Yeah,
and we just make sure that we choose which sacrifices we make. So, for example, like you say, we would never miss a wedding, we would never miss a christening, that kind of thing. But then I kind of think what sacrifices we do make, really.
Yeah, because I mean, I went on...
It's more our self-care side of things, perhaps, that we might make a sacrifice from. So we might say, like, I don't even know. I can't even think. I feel like we just balance it really nicely in terms of still, because at the end of the day, it's us who've chosen to prep. It's not our family. It's not our friends. It's not me. Like, so that's what we always say to each other and always remind ourselves of, isn't it? When we're in that stage of, people always say it's a selfish sport, and I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, it shouldn't be at the detriment to your family or your friends or what have you, because they're not the ones who've chosen to do it. So we very much focus on that, don't we? And keep that forefront of everything. But yeah, in terms of how it does affect your relationship for other people, I guess that's different.
Yeah, but I'd say not in a big way at all. It's just how it always has been, I guess.
Yeah, and all our friends and family know what we do and kind of know what to expect now, don't they? And they're all supportive of it and just kind of go along with it.
Yeah, it's just normal, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Next one, do you have any time off work? Do you want to start that one?
I will do. That's a really tough one actually to answer. So yeah, we do have time off.
I mean, the thing is, we keep calling it work, but we're doing something that we absolutely love.
Yeah.
For a start.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really
that sounds
feel like
really
work.
Cheesy and really cliche, but it's true.
It is 100% true.
It's literally true. But yeah, do we have time off? We do. So basically we have set check-in days for each of our clients. So they're always our formal working days, aren't they? And then in terms of the additional stuff of like setting up new starters, doing content, and all the stuff that happens behind the scenes except from formal check-ins, we work that into our day, don't we, in terms of what works best for us and then what we've got on and what we kind of need as a family and things like that. But basically, in a nutshell, we are 24/7. We get up at 5-6 o'clock between us and we go to bed and finish work at like midnight often. But that's out of choice.
Yep.
Completely out of choice. Purely because, like you say, we enjoy what we're doing, we love what we're doing, and obviously in between of all of the formal work, we're always contactable for our clients because that's the level of service that we provide. So, for example, we've just booked the holiday, well, we're going on holiday in a few weeks anyway, aren't we? We've got another one, we've just booked another one for December, but the work doesn't stop. The clients will always get the level of service that they expect and that they're always promised, because that's the level of service that we provide in terms of us personally and the brand, isn't it? So nothing changes for the clients, it's just us that change and adapt around stuff that we've got on.
Yeah, if we need to condense work into a shorter period of time, when we go away, for example, we'll just do check-ins, we won't be doing anything else.
Yeah.
We'll have content set up before we go.
Yeah.
And we'll work it that way, won't we?
Yeah. So yeah, that's the beauty of our work, is that our clients get the exact same level of support and exact same level of service that is super, super high and completely unrivaled in my opinion, to be honest. Always 24/7 basically, isn't it, for them? And in terms of us having time off, it's just flexible for us to be able to work that into our lifestyle. So for example, Saturdays and Sundays we always have as family days, and we just make sure that Friday night we'll work till all hours to bash everything out, and then on Saturday evening we'll catch up then and do all our extra bits then, won't we? But in the interim our clients are absolutely like confident that they've got us.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean,
I don't know if I've answered that well.
No, yeah, I think we have. I mean, now we've got clients all over the world as well. You have to be more contactable at different time periods.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some do get that if you're like 4 or 5 hours in front when they're checking in, you're not going to get a reply at 2 o'clock, but we need to be contactable for a large portion of the day just to make sure everything, especially when we're talking about competitors, they need the plans.
Yeah, they're literally like...
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Well, if it was up to me, we'd probably be living in Dubai.
I knew that.
But that's probably not going to happen.
Probably, definitely.
In terms of business, I want to have a well-known coaching brand that everyone's aware of within the UK fitness industry. Several coaches, well, we already have several coaches, but just keep expanding on the coaches. Coaches that specialise in different areas. So if anyone comes to us, they've got a coach that will be able to suit them and fit their needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, business-wise, maybe moving into other business ventures. I could possibly be doing something. I will be doing something very shortly outside of AM Fitness, which is very exciting from my point of view.
It's very cryptic for anyone listening. Yeah. You'll be getting loads of messages after this.
I can't say anything about that just yet. But yeah, I mean, personally, we'll want to be in our forever home.
Yeah.
Because this, as much as we love it here, it's not our forever home, and we will be moving probably in the next 3, hopefully, I guess. So yeah, I mean, would you want to explain that?
We've got, I mean, the hard thing is we've got separate goals as well, haven't we? So there's ventures that I want to move into, obviously while staying within AM Fitness, but like there are ventures that I want to move into. So I've always been since you met me, isn't it, really, in terms of interest in property. So that's definitely something that's completely burning inside of me, definitely want to do. So that is 100% something that you'll be seeing from the brand in the future. In terms of us personally, I definitely want to grow in the brand and become my head's gone now. What?
Female prep coach. Is that what you were going to?
How did you know that's what I'm going to say? How did you know?
So yeah. It planned.
You've got it mapped out for me. So yeah, definitely want to become a female prep coach, focusing on bikini girls. So that's something that's already well underway with a few of our girls on the team, and some more that we've got lined up coming over the next season. So that's exciting. And the property side of stuff, and yeah, my brain is always ticking, so there's a lot more. There's a lot more back here, but
there's always things that come along and we'll jump onto. So I'm sure if you ask that question in another 2 years, some things will probably have changed by then, or we'll have already got to where we said, which is highly likely, knowing what
100 miles an hour.
How much we strive to succeed. Right, next one. Are you looking to take on any other coaches? And do you advertise when positions are available?
I love that one.
Are we looking? Well, we're forever kind of keeping our eye out, because we always want to expand. So I guess so. Yeah. The one thing that I do like to do now is take people who are or who have been clients of ours, because they know the brand, they know what we're about, they know how we work.
And I think more than anything, they know what we want, the level of service that we offer. Because that's a massive thing for us, isn't it? And that's the massive part of our feedback, in terms of everyone loves everything that we offer, in terms of the level of service that we provide is unrivaled. Like I've said it earlier in this video, but it is unrivaled in terms of the support, in terms of the communication, everything like that.
I mean, you can safely say that every client can back that up, so it's not like we're just saying that.
Exactly.
We know full well that clients
and I think that's one of the main things, isn't it? When you're looking for another coach, you want somebody who you're gonna be confident in providing that same level of service and support. And when there's been a client previously, they know that that's what.
We need someone who's got the same vision as us, and who's gonna, drive the business forward just as much as we do. Because when we take a coach on, they're not working under us. It's not like we're the boss. We're a team.
Yeah.
So everyone's pushing in the same direction, and in line with each other. So
do you advertise basically? No.
We have done before. We have done before. It didn't quite work out. This is why we do prefer to take coaches from in-house, should we say? So we could advertise in the future. I don't know. We could possibly. Yeah. If we don't find anyone.
At the minute, it's just kind of happening organically, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's working really nicely, and working as we are at the moment, in terms of us feeling comfortable with everything, and the coach is feeling nice.
But if this question is someone actively asking, then
reach out.
Reveal yourself. Send us a message. There's no harm in reaching out. If you don't know,
You don't
get. So yeah.
You don't know, you don't get. You don't ask, you don't.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
You don't know. You don't know. You don't ask, you don't get.
Right. So moving on. So we've got another couple from Instagram. A couple of quick ones that we can answer. What's the best supplement in your opinion? AM Fitness is smashing it, by the way. Again, thank you very much for that. Best supplement. Look, food is always number one priority. Yeah. No matter what you're doing, dieting, gaining muscle. Food always has to be on point. Once you've got that sorted, I guess, if you want to add muscle, creatine is going to be probably the best supplement to take. You're going to get the most advantage from. It's probably one of the most researched and safest supplements available as well. So, yeah, I'd probably say creatine for that one. Protein is becoming expensive. Any other cheap ways to get your protein in? Unfortunately, everything is getting expensive now. Whey protein has increased a lot over the last few years. I remember, it makes me feel old now, but back in the day, I don't think there was actually tax on protein, so it was, you could get a tub very cheap. Nowadays it is expensive. So I mean, look, you've got
even your meats are expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. You've got chicken, but you can get cheaper sources that they're not going to be as good. But you can get frozen chicken, frozen fish. I've prepped on frozen fish before years back.
There's ways around doing it. Like, obviously, if you want to be like having the best results and the most optimal kind of progress, then obviously it's kind of like anything, isn't it? You get what you pay for. I know I said quality over quantity, but you get what you pay for is what I'm going to say. And it's like, you can't expect to drive a Ferrari whilst paying the price of just a Nissan or something, you know. That's no disrespect to Nissan, but it was the first
one that makes sense, I know what you mean, yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like, just because protein is expensive and meat is expensive doesn't then mean you have to go out and smash McD's.
Yeah.
McD's are expensive as well, by the way.
But yeah, I mean, just to answer, I think chicken is probably the cheapest way to do it.
Definitely cheaper than fish. Fish is super expensive.
Yeah, I mean, even I have egg whites as well, but they're probably as much as whey protein now. So yeah, I mean, chicken, if you can't afford butchers, then downgrade to maybe supermarket or even frozen, but there's always ways. And I mean, the best way to do it is to save money on other areas of your life as well.
Yeah.
If you're going out, you know, spending money on takeaways, whatever, drinking, if you really want to get to your goals, you'd sacrifice that and put more into your fitness or your bodybuilding, whatever your goals are, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we'll wrap that up there. I'm not even sure how long we've done there, but we've got a good lot of questions answered for you all. So, look, this is something that we want to do more often. We'll look at trying to get other coaches on, maybe a couple of clients, and do things, have some more good conversations for people to watch. So
we've still got loads of questions left from this as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, we'll answer some more on Instagram as well. Some of the quicker ones, but that gives you a bit more of an insight in terms of what we're doing with the business, and Aston's goals, I guess, going forward in terms of competing.
Yeah, a bit of everything, weren't it? Now?
So yeah, I mean, again, if you please like and subscribe, all that stuff, and then we'll see you all soon.
And whoever that person were that asked about the coaching side of it, holler, because I'm intrigued.
Aston's intrigued, so get in touch.
Who are you? If you're a female, come join part of my team.
Right, thanks guys, we'll wrap it up there.